Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Algorand's price chart, and unfortunately what we talked about in the previous video, I'm going to argue pretty much exactly played out. Why is that? If you remember, the last time that we talked about Algo, we were I think around these areas, and the idea was that seems like this is quite a slow and choppy move on the upside, and before that, as you can see, we are able to find a very solid 5-wave impulsive structure. So maybe this is 5-wave down, this is correction up, meaning what? The next move is going to be a decent one on the downside, and I believe we specifically said that in terms of the targets, the bare minimum target for the coming phase down in Algo is going to be reaching to about this important level between 23.3 cents. And as you can see, here we are. Now, question is, can we argue our move down in Algorand is over already? Well, in my opinion, yes, you can say that. However, I don't really believe that. At least now it's time to jump into that kind of bullish conclusion. So let's just take every single thing step by step and see what is going on in like very short term, and let's go on 15-minute time frame. So here is what I have in my mind. I'm thinking this is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave down, and maybe and hopefully actually we are having in here a 5-wave on the upside, and I really want to see Algorand taking this important high right in here about, let's say, 24 cents. Why? Because that is actually going to open the doors to possibly a bit more upward price action, and maybe at that point I'm going to be able to say, if I see the right structures, you know what, maybe we have hit our final low, and on a higher degree this is going to be a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and what is next? Yep, a strong move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. And I guess one very important bullish sign in Algo can be reclaiming this level once more, which the higher band of it is about 25.5 cents. But for now, it's way too soon to talk about those scenarios. Let's just wait a bit more and see, are we going to get another small move up in order to take this? At that point, even if you do not want to be that optimistic, that's absolutely fine. Maybe you should count on just having an A, B, C in form of a zigzag structure, suggesting we are going to probably get some more upward price action. And honestly, I actually do like this scenario a bit more. Why is that? Pay attention to what is going on starting from here. You see, in my view, we are probably having from this point a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave down into wave 3. This is, I think I'm comfortable to argue, an A, B, C zigzag into wave 4, another move down into wave 5. So what just happened so far? As you can see, if I just zoom out, okay, only 2 sets of 5 waves on the downside. So in Algorand, assuming that we are going to get in the current phase like an ABC zigzag, I'm able to tell you, you know what, on a higher degree, this is 1, this is 2, wave 3, correction for 4, and what is next? Well, probably another move on the downside into wave 5 if you a bit want to be pessimistic. And for now, at least, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of optimistic signs in order for me to be able to be bullish with a bit more confidence. No, for now, let's go with this scenario as long as we are not proven otherwise. Now, here is a very important point, and I need you to pay full attention to what I am about to say. You see, let's just hide everything. As you can see, in the recent phase down in Algo, we still didn't take the lows down here around 22.3 cents. And why is this low so important? Because if we see one more move down, and in that move we take this low, at that point 2 things are going to happen. Number 1, you shouldn't really expect a very immediate bounce back in order to have, I don't know, let's say like a 100 to 200% move on the upside. No. Why is that? Because if you want to be bullish on any chart, then okay, you need to be able to find off of its recent lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, followed by a correction down, a very slow and choppy move on the downside, in order for you to be able to say, this is 1, this is 2, and then we're gonna have a good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and building this 1, 2 foundation is going to take some time. Okay, so if in Algo, I would say in the next 48 to 72 hours, you see another move down in order to take the lows, At that point, even assuming that we want to right around the current area hit our final low, you have to consider having some chopping around, I'm going to say for probably a couple of weeks, in order to build a 1 2 3 4 5 followed by a correction structure on the downside. Point number 2, you see, if we go down and we do actually end up taking this low, and at the same time we successfully get a break of this very, very important level as well, then okay, I guess we can say in terms of classic technical analysis, there's also some kind of a support area in here, but I'll be honest with you, this isn't really that much of a strong support. Since under here we really do not have any strong supports, well, okay, I'm going to argue that not only we are not going to hit our final low around here, odds are we are actually going to continue our move on the downside. I'm gonna say for probably at least another 15% in order to reach to about, I believe it was the 20 cents area, which is actually a decent support, and also, excuse me, a very good gap that was created as a result of this move up being way too fast. So since I believe gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled, I'm going to say this: if in Algorand we see another move down and in it we take this low, then okay, odds are our move down is going to continue for another 15% in order to finally fill this gap right in here. Excuse me, what just happened? And then from these areas, you are not going to see me being effective immediately extremely bullish. Absolutely not. Why? Because simple. I'm not really in the business of catching absolute lows. No, I'm going to be a bit more patient and careful and wait and see. Are we going to have a 1 2 3 4 5 followed by again a correction structure on the downside or not? If we get this thing, fair enough, around the lows in here can be a decent opportunity, assuming that I see all the right subways for me to go long big time. As long as I'm not seeing that, it is way too soon to flip bullish in Algorand. Like, do not get me wrong, the overall picture in my view is again very much bullish and optimistic, and I do believe, excuse me, odds are that we have most likely hit our final low, either to about here or here, doesn't really matter. And you can say, for example, if you want to say we did hit our final low right at this point, okay, this is 1, this is 2, and what's next? Good move up into wave 3 4 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into this wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Basically, this is a series of 1-2s, meaning what? Exciting times in Algorand, in my view, are going to be ahead. And as long as we are not invalidating this count, I do like to be a bit optimistic and count on this thing to happen. And what is going to be the invalidation point for it? I think you know it if you are a regular viewer of the channel, because we have talked about this way too many times. It is going to be taking the lows down here around 15.2 cents. And if we do it, okay, fair enough. Maybe we are going to have some more downward price action. And from my view, that's not really going to be a short opportunity. In fact, if you really do not care about what is going to happen in the short term, that might be the buy opportunity of a lifetime for you. But you know what? Let's not actually talk about those scenarios as long as we're not getting around the lows. And I really don't think that we are going to even get there. For now, let's just focus on the current move that we are having and see what is going to happen. And are we going to finally take the lowest low down here or not? If we take it, maybe you should count on some more downward price action. Now, let's zoom in more on weekly time frame and see what is going on in terms of indicators, and then wrap up today's update. So what do we have? As you can see in MACD, this is a beautiful buy signal, suggesting, you know what, the trend in the midterm most likely has changed. And the last time that we got a buy in MACD, it was, yep, right at this candlestick around 12.5 cents. And what happened? We got almost like a 5x move on the upside, which is definitely not that bad. And for now, at least, I don't really have any reason to believe this signal is not going to do the same thing. But in stock RSI, as you can see, this is a sell signal. So once more, I'm going to argue, if you don't really care about the short-term price action, and for example, it's not really your concern what is going to happen in the next, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks, just be a bit patient and wait and see a buy signal in these two indicators at the same time. And at that point, I promise you, you are able to be bullish with a hell of a lot of more confidence, since in terms of Elliott's waves, we also do have all the right bullish structures. And in daily time frame, well, okay, this is not good news because now we are having sell signals in these two indicators at the same time, suggesting, well, maybe our move down is going to continue. Now, what is going on in H1 time frame? Because I think this might be a bit of a short-term signal for you if you want to understand what might be the next move in algo. So what is going on here? You see, this is, as you can see, a low. The other one right in here is also a lower low. However, in MACD, as you can see, this is a low, the other one is a higher low, and we are also definitely on track for another higher low. So essentially, this is a beautiful looking bullish divergence, and here is the line for it. Now, pay attention to what I'm about to say, and in fact, you do know what I'm about to say in case that you are a regular viewer of the channel. You see, a bullish divergence by itself is definitely an optimistic sign, indicating bears are running out of steam. So do not get that twisted. However, if this isn't actually going to do the job, meaning we are going to have a move down in Algorand in order to get a break of the divergence line. At that point, number one, let's not count on that move up that I said earlier anymore. And number two, as a result of the break of this important line, we should actually count on some more a strong downward price action, which in H1 time frame, that could be, for example, like another 10, 15, even if you want to be really pessimistic, maybe 20% move on the downside in Algorand. So if you want to know what's next and are we going to have a deep move down or not, I think your eyes should be on this very, very important divergence line and see what is going to happen to it. As long as we're not breaking that, I guess there is some room to be optimistic. If we break it, okay, count on this move to continue for quite a bit. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in algo. Anyway, if you found any value in my contents, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.